Hello Gemini, thank you for tuning in for the May 2019 Zodiac World Reading. I'm Elle, your astrologer. Good to be back with you. Now, as many of you know, my readings are for the general collective. If you would like to book a more personal reading, then you can go to my website www.lpsychicastrology.com, or you can flick me an email and or even leave me a message in the comments, and I will get back to you and we'll organise that for you. Now, this reading is for Gemini sun signs as well as rising sign and moon sign. So check them out if you know what they are, because that'll give you a more all-round forecast. And if you have subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and for the comments that you leave. And I will do the Zodiac wheel reading, and then at the conclusion of the Zodiac reading I do a confirmation reading with my animal medicine card, so stay tuned for that. So now I would like to invite Great Spirit, angels and my guides to join me with this reading for Gemini, and I give thanks for any messages that come through in this reading for Gemini's highest good and for the good of all concerned. I also give an update on the astrological transits and planetary movements through my Zodiac wheel readings. So I hope you enjoy keeping up to date with that as well, Gemini. Here we are in the area of your outer appearance, your persona, how you present yourself to others, and this is showing me here with the Nine of Swords influencing that, the ascendant and your first house, that you're wanting to get away from things a bit. I think there's been a lot on your mind, you've been under a lot of pressure, and or you feel that there's a lot of pressure, like a lot of questions, people wanting answers. This is also becoming the technology card to me, the Nine of Swords. It's you know, whichever way you go, you've got to use technology, whether it's using maps, using the computer, using your iPhones or Bluetooth, or no matter what it is, it's all about technology. And I feel with that you're having a bit of a headache. You're sort of sick of it. You're sick of being able to be on beck and call to others, and you're finding it very hard to not tell others. So my remedy for that is to turn everything off, which we sometimes will find we get a bit, oh, what do you mean turn it off? Turn it off. You are the one that's in control of your devices. You don't have to have any of it going. You can turn it off. If you can't turn it off, take a long drive into the country, as far up a mountain as you can, so that there's no reception. No, well, maybe you can't do that, but you get what I mean. You just need to take some time to breathe in the Prana and reconnect with Source. That is one of the strongest messages I'm getting from the Nine of Swords in that position. Here in the area of your values and how you earn your money, you have the King of Pentacles, which is the Midas touch, Gemini. So there is some good financial stability being represented here. I do feel that you could be in a position where you have to make some sort of negotiations or deals of some description, but you will be able to what do they call it when you multiply? You start with a small amount and you will be able to turn it into a bigger amount. But that isn't a gamble. It's not a gambling situation. It is conscious, practical, methodical planning that is bringing that together, which really does fit in with your values. Now, the 6th of May, Gemini, the moon moves into Gemini. And so that is also a significant time for you to just see what's going on around you at that time, in the 6th of May. Communication can be subjective, and there is an indication with that moon in Gemini to trust your gut instinct when you are negotiating or communicating with others. And then on the 8th it moves into Cancer, so then that's a good time for you to look within yourself at your attitudes, your values, your feelings and emotional orientation to the world around you, which looks like you want to just sort of have a break from it all. So if you can take some time off, this is a good time to do it. It may also become obvious to you around the time of the moon in Cancer on the 8th for you to just check in with yourself to see if your past habits are still controlling you, or your past conditionings. Is it still relevant in the modern world that you have to work in or live in? And is it still true to the values that you've now developed? Because through this time, from the 24th of April through to the 3rd of October, Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn. So one of the things that Pluto retrograde will almost demand from us is to give something up. So whether it's a controlling attitude or a habit, you will be shown that it's time to let it go. You don't always have to be in control of other people, and you can't always control situations. Sometimes you just have to rely on faith and trust and let what is meant to unfold, unfold. Here in your communication house, you've got the 8 of Pentacles. So that is showing that there's diligent work being applied and using your skills to their highest potential. So in that you will be making more money. And communicating how... So you could actually find yourself teaching or maybe not a teacher as such, but a teaching, whether it's your children or just co-workers, you're stepping up for that leadership and you're communicating your skills to help others improve theirs. Now, being the third house, which is the house that Mercury rules, and Mercury being the messenger from the gods, it went into Aries on the 18th of April. So that gave the opportunity for things to be put into action and thoughts to be put into action and move things forward. And here on the 6th, as well as having the moon in Gemini, the Mercury is moving into Taurus on the 6th. So then your attention's turned to your values in life, your property and your money, and negotiating any deals or jobs or anything like that. So there's a lot of negotiating and deals and very financial orientated well, you've got 2, 3, 4 Pentacles cards, and Pentacles are about money and trade and material gain. So that is really going to be where your focus, or a lot of your focus, will be on money. Now, and your property and your material possessions, basically, Gemini. Now here in your 4th house, which is your home, your family, and the base of our wheel, and the foundation from which you can go out into the world and achieve and strive, you have the Lovers reversed. Now whether the Lovers is reversed or round the right way, it is still representing choice to be made. And it also represents 3 people are involved. It's the Trinity, 1, 2, 3. So, so it's the seed, it's the earth, and then it's the plant and the fruits that come from the nurturing of the seed to grow the plant in the first place. So there will be some kind of fruits of your labour being shown here in your home environment, even though it is in the reverse position. So maybe you're not necessarily going to have to make the choice on your own. There's someone else that will help make that choice. Now, I also feel with this area being affected by the Lovers that if you're wanting to turn something around in your relationship, that you can actually work towards turning that around. Here we have, in the area of fun and hobbies as well as matters of the heart, the High Priestess. She's 2 in the major arcana. The High Priestess is the knower of deep secret knowledge. She is a magician of a kind in her own right, and she's ruled by the moon. So again, the influence of the moon energy is going to be influencing you in a way that will make you want to be more emotionally in tune with those people that you love and company you enjoy. So I do feel that you will be connecting with people from a very intuitive part of yourself, which is why I feel that you're going to be so helpful with others, and you're going to be able to communicate some of your skills. So you're in a way going to intuitively know when to give advice and when not to give advice. Now, I feel because of the influence with this High Priestess being a strong moon card, that the full moon in Scorpio on the 16th of May is quite significant time for you, when you may feel some of the emotion that you need to express, or you may even be experiencing it as quite intense. So if you do have something that you need to communicate or share with others, you will be strongly driven to do it around that time of the 16th of May. So let me know in the comments what you personally find. You know, even if it's at the end of May, that you look back over your reading again, and then you can leave me a comment, because I do love reading your comments. I actually learn a lot out of them as well. So yeah, and you can do that with the April one as well. Go back into the April video reading and go through it again, and that way you can see what actually did unfold for you in April. And I often do that with my readings. I look back at the month before at the end of the month. So yeah, do let me know what it is that you are feeling, you're emotionally expressing, and what is being expressed to you, because it is a very significant, it's probably one of the most important times in our lives is now, because the big planets, Saturn and Pluto, which generational planets, so it's affecting the generations, not just or only the individual, though we are all individually feeling the frequencies coming from those planets. Yeah, so we have quite a significant energy shift here from Saturn and Pluto, from April right through to September and October, as well as Jupiter from April through to August. So we'll get into those as we go around the wheel. Now, here in your work, a bit dissatisfied and not seeing much on the horizon is how I'm feeling with the work situation and how it's presenting itself to you. But the cups are still full, you see? You're just not looking at them. So even if you're not satisfied with your working situation or the job that you're in, do not give up hope. And even if an opportunity comes past being offered to you that you still don't see how that's going to get you out and into a different area or into a new job completely, it still may be beneficial to at least take the offer, even if you don't see anything in it. But that's up to you, because you've got the skills and you can do what you say you can do. Yeah, so, and remembering that the 4 is a number of stability, so I do feel that there is stability in your working life, and health-wise there's stability as well. Now here in your partnerships, you have the 9 of Pentacles. Now this is representing the fruits of your labour and feeling that you are able to sustain yourself, to provide for. And you also are being shown that you do have time to do the things that you want to do, which in a lot of cases our work actually can interfere with the things that we enjoy in life. And in May, Mercury, as I said, Mercury is entering Aries on the 18th. So we're already in that action stations energy from the Aries influence, and it gives us a chance to put thoughts into action. But then Mercury moves into Taurus on the 6th of May, so then that will bring your attention to whatever you value in life and your money and your property. Then once it's flown through Taurus, because it's only in Taurus for about two and a bit weeks, then it will be entering Gemini in its own sign on the 21st of May. So very strong energies, Gemini, coming to you, because Mercury is exalted. So it's very happy in Gemini. It rules Gemini. So then you may find that there's more short journeys, you got more group activity going on, there's more to do with your relatives and being more involved in your neighbourhood. So things could get really busy, and a lot of people could be in overdrive, because this Mercury in Gemini transit produces energetic energy, and we have to be careful that we don't burn the candle at both ends. So if the pace gets too frantic, do try and disconnect a little bit from it. I know it's hard these days with technology, because unless you turn the devices off, you know, you'll always have something coming through to break you out of your calm state of mind. But you know, even if you can only take 10 minutes and you feel that things are too frantic, and I feel that strongly for you, Gemini, because of this Nine of Swords here. That is the perfect depiction of someone who feels that everything's getting too frantic and they just need to get away from it. So that's why it is good, because you are producing the fruits of your labour. But remember to breathe. Remember to just still the mind and breathe in the prana. So things, nonetheless, whether or not you stop for a little while, it is still, everything is still moving forward. Even if you do feel that, you know, oh, why do I have to go through all this again? Well, that's from the Saturn-Pluto energy being retrograde. So that is influencing, kind of taking us back in time a little bit. Here in the 8th house you have the Queen of Wands. Now the Queen of Wands is a very loyal card. She also is full of energy and action, and it is a message of being in touch with the spirit, like your flame, you know. See where you need to reconnect with yourself is the message I'm getting from this Queen of Wands here in the 8th house. The influence of the Queen of Wands is a woman of that kind of energy, could be of assistance, or is someone who is wanting to listen to your gut instincts about certain things that you want to be able to communicate. She's interested in knowing. Now, usually that is significant of a fire sign woman, but it's also, it could be your partner, because there is an energy of relationships involved in that 8th house area. So she is a woman of action, your partner, and she certainly does get things done, and I don't feel that you really have any need to doubt her loyalty. She's always there for you. So now I do just want to say, with that fire energy, that there is a Jupiter quality about this fire sign energy that's showing up here. So because fire signs are Aries, Leo and Sagittarius, and Jupiter is in Sagittarius. It went retrograde in Sagittarius in April on the 10th, and it will stay that way until the 11th, as I said, which are dates that I want you to know so that you can just take a bit of notice of what happens around those dates, or what you feel is going on. So when transiting Jupiter is retrograde, it's a time of philosophy and spiritual introspection and reflection. Now, with retrogrades, it always takes us back in time at some level in our lives. Now, with this one, I feel that it is taking us all back to 2007. What was being shown to you then, that maybe it was a situation, maybe it was an idea, but maybe you didn't take the opportunity, or maybe like you could have missed it or something. So there's something that was going on back in 2007, round about from November 2007, that this time between April and August relates to that time somehow. And if you could do it again better, what would you do? That is the question that only you can answer, Gemini. Now, here in the 9th house, which is also ruled by Jupiter, we have the 4 of Pentacles. So number 4 is quite prominent in your reading here. So that tells me straight away that you have stability, and it's the number of reality as well. So sometimes, you know, even though we don't really want to have to deal with reality, if we don't deal with reality, then when the good fortune presents itself as a reality, you might find it hard to hold on to because you haven't wanted to deal with reality. It's that kind of message of the 4 of Pentacles. Because what Jupiter is doing while it's retrograde is testing us. And it's testing us to see if we're ready to receive the good fortune, or the new romance, or that increase in money that we've been, wealth that you've obviously been striving very hard for. And if you don't get tested, then how can you receive the good fortune? Because if you haven't prepared well, then you're not ready for it, and it will just slip through your fingers. So make sure you get things in order and fine-tune the frequency you're on. There's a strong theme with the retrograde planets of releasing and letting go too, and giving something up. So whether it's an addiction or a controlling behaviour, or maybe it's someone you're dealing with who is like that. You need to be honest with yourself, because blaming others isn't going to get you through this test. So you won't pass the test by shifting the blame. You've got to accept it and look within, which is hard, but again, it's the reality. If you're not going to accept the reality, when reality is showing you tests and trials and tribulations, then how can you accept good fortune and prosperity being in your reality? If you can't accept one, then you can't accept the other. So that's what Jupiter is trying to teach us. So yeah. Okay, now here in your 10th house you have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is bolting into your life, or maybe it's somebody bolting out of your life. This is the zenith of the wheel, the 10th house. This is a part of our life that is the career. It is the Capricorn area. This area is where Saturn and Pluto are sitting and transiting retrograde at the moment. And the ruler of the 10th house is Saturn. Now, Saturn is also the father archetype, so it does represent that sort of providing for your family and loved ones. It represents taking responsibility, all of that kind of thing, and it's known as the Lord of Karma. So there's a bit of karma playing out as well with this Saturn retrograde. So it's a time for karma to get sorted out. So what does this mean? Okay, well, it means that here and now, the past, present and the future are all entwined, and they're working things out, and it's presenting itself in your life somehow. And it also is making us all look within to see how we've managed our life, whether our thoughts are negative or whether our behaviour is negative, and has it been in the past. If you have come from a negative place in the past and think, you know, because what you think is what you get. So if you're thinking how much you hate something all the time, for example, that's negative. And so then how Saturn works is that an event will occur to teach you a lesson about that. If you've been coming from a place of good deeds and pure intent in the past, where you are thinking more along the lines of, I'm grateful for this experience, whether it's good or bad, you're still grateful for it because it's taken you into another, you know, it made you change your mind and look at something from a different perspective, that kind of energy. So yeah, so it's teaching you in that case that an event will occur that will reward you. So basically the karma from the Saturn retrograde motion is that how responsible you've been in the past. So be careful, avoid taking shortcuts at the moment. A healthy Saturn is a hard-working and dedicated. So it's about taking responsibility for yourself as well as your family, okay? As well as looking after your physical being as well, because Saturn also rules the skeletal system. Now with Pluto conjunct Saturn in retrograde, because they're within orb, then this transit of Pluto in retrograde, you could experience power struggles. And I do feel that in some way you definitely will, because you've got the devil here, which is ruled by Saturn, the devil card. But I feel that the power struggle is that of temptation. So there's something that you have to give up. There's something that you need to let go. There's something that you're bonded to. And for most of us, it's something relatively simple, but something that we are obsessed over or addicted to. So, you know, it could be you need to transform yourself through diet, or you need to transform yourself through giving up smoking or drugs or something like that. So that is the energy that, you know, if you're holding on too tight, you may be forced to let go, because this transit definitely wants you to give something up. And this card here in your 11th house of hopes and wishes is showing that you struggle with the temptation of something. And your social group, whether that be family or friends, it usually is a friend-based group, also may have the same issues as you, or the same situation going on, because or they may be, you may even find yourself needing to pull away from them. That might not necessarily not having anything to do with them again, but in order for you to transform, then you need to sort of change your social life a bit. And here in the 12th house, you've got the 8 of Swords. Now the 8 of Swords is saying to me that there is that part of you that maybe isn't admitting it because it's in the hidden area of the wheel, and sometimes the 12th house, we can be our own worst enemy, like we can be our undoing, really. And this is about not feeling real good. Like, yeah, it may be a passing ailment, but you're still feeling a bit sick. So again, what is it that you when you get sick, it's usually, if it's a cold or flu or even just a tummy bug, you usually haven't stopped. Yeah, so if you've just been firing on all cylinders, this could be a case of burning the candles at both ends, where you haven't stopped because you felt you couldn't, and something's come along to make you stop. So just keep that in mind. So keep your immune system strong, and keep your physical system active, but not active as in like playing hard sport or something. More active as in, stretching and doing things that are actually healing for the physical body. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so now I will do a confirmation reading for you. So, for Gemini, for May 2019, confirmation card, please. I ask for great spirit, angels and guides. Oh, there you go, Gemini. Thank you. Oh, like a tiger. Here we are, Gemini. Tiger, be tenacious. Fight like a tiger for what you want, but in the sleek, graceful way of our striped friend. Some judicious use of claws can enhance this tenacity, and you need to use a bit of jungle-wise stealth, like the tiger hunting at night. Your piercing eyes say, "Don't mess with me, go tiger." Well, there you go. So, there might be a need for you to also not necessarily have to make your presence felt. So sometimes that means for Gemini to not say what you want to say in a knee-jerk kind of way. To just let it be. It's not a competition, and you can say it all with your eyes, basically. Don't mess with me. So I hope you have enjoyed your reading, Gemini, and thank you so much for those of you that have subscribed and for tuning back in and for being a part of my channel. Let me know where you feel these frequencies are being felt in your life for you. Just leave a comment in the comments below. I love reading all your comments, and I do read them all. And let me know what resonates with you. If you would like, you can book a reading with me through the information that I've also left there for you in the description box. I do readings using Skype if you'd like that. I also do recorded personal readings as well as phone readings, and if you're in the region, we can have a meeting and actually do a face-to-face reading. If you would like to look at some of the other video readings that I've done, I've got a pick a pile reading there also on my website as well as here on YouTube, and that is a very interesting reading that you can pick one pile and then check it on the timeline, and you can go see what that pile's message is for you. And I'm looking at doing your spirit animal, your totem animal reading as well, where I'll have 3 cards and you can pick one of the cards and your totem animal will be there with your spirit message from that. So have a wonderful month ahead, Gemini. Try not to burn the candle at both ends. And until we talk again, thank you for being a part of my channel and for liking and subscribing and sharing. And a lot of love and light to you all, and many blessings. Namaste.